Hello everyone, welcome. I had a little time here at the end of the stream today, so figured we would check in with the old Throne of Eldraine bots for Quick Draft. Historically, the bots really haven't changed much from bring back to bring back, right? We've seen Throne of Eldraine come back a couple of times in the Quick Draft slot, and I haven't noticed any dramatic changes in the bots from where they landed at the end of the Eldraine format. And where they did land, where they were at the end of the Eldraine format was that after a nasty stretch where really the only realistic strategy was to go hard into mill and just take all the secret keepers that the bots didn't care about, it was miserable, and we were all yelling at Wizards about how miserable it was to be in this kind of mill meta in Eldraine draft when this was pre-human drafting on Arena at all. So they adjusted the bots pretty clearly to highly value the mill stuff. So where we left bots at the end of the format and where we've seen it in the one or two times that it has made a return since is that blue mill is almost undraftable because the bots prioritize it so highly, which in a sense makes blue non-mill almost undraftable because the bots, many of the bots will end up in blue because they're prioritizing these mill picks to keep that deck from being oppressive. So my stance number one, heuristic number one in Eldraine bot draft is to just avoid the heck out of blue. And then the other thing that I noticed at the tail end is that red has just been wide open. Sometimes mono red, sometimes Boros is a good place to be, sometimes even Gruul. I have ended up in mono green with bots too. The green can be open as well. But yes, in general, I'm liking the Naya range of colors, which is say red, green, white, with an extra emphasis on red, to the point that I'll almost force it. I'm going to soft force red and likely end up pairing it with white or be mono red, maybe with a chance of green. I'm highly unlikely to end up in black or blue here, but let's put it to the test, shall we? Let's jump in for some gems. This is one of my side accounts. We get into the draft mode here. Well, I said I was going to soft force red, but I'm not passing questing beasts. We take questing beasts when they show up in the mythic slot. At least it's not a blue or black card, and there's not really much good red here anyway. This raging red cap probably wheels. Let me get my chat back, see what chat thinks of this. Yeah. All right. So let's take the questing beast and see about being green. I like that witch stalker as well, but questing beast is like a mythic witch stalker. Well, I said I don't want to be in black, but look at this. Order of Midnight, bacon to a pie. Pretty darn strong. Not taking this charm sleep. I am avoiding blue. But I am willing to take order here over basically nothing. It's not worth, you know, as much as I want to soft force the red, I don't think I want Ogre Errant. Bacon to a pie and order are similar power levels. Order is a 2-for-1 effectively. Bacon to a pie, just excellent removal. So yeah, familiar and oven is funny. We can take one and try and wheel the other, but I don't even like this combo in limited per se. It can still be too clunky to get it done. I'm going to go with the order. Mike likes the bake. I'm taking order. You can splash order at least. Well, really trying to be following through on my efforts to get into red, but this just hasn't offered us reasons to be, and it's offering us reasons to be in black. Could they have adjusted the bots, or is this just small sample size? We're taking a look at a handful of packs and they're just not breaking that way. So I'll take Reeve Soul. And Carver matches the beast. Sorcerer's Broom can go in any deck and be fine. Yeah, Sir Allen was a consideration, but not with, given where we started, I was willing to commit to the Reeve there, or take Yeah, it's fine. Or if you have combos, it's great. But I kind of just like Carver. I'm going to take the Carver. The adventure spells all ended up being pretty darn good. I shouldn't say all. That's a stretch. But in general, adventure was very good in the format, and I don't mind leaning into it a bit. Giant Skewer or Curious Pair setting up further avenues into green-blue food. Looks like that's where we're ending up in this draft. That's interesting. Skewer over Pair, though, I think. I want first Skewer over first Pair. Pair is okay, but it's not super strong, and Skewer is surprisingly good in the format. Here's a Broom I can get behind over a Tracker, although Tracker you could make an argument for as well. We'll see. Trebuchet is the type of card that goes super late and is one of the reasons that I try to be in red. But we'll take a Broom on this one. Silverflame Squire is the type of white card that goes late, that and Youthful Knight. So you can see how the Boros lane can end up kind of open here. Cottage, we're back to, like, I hate these kind of a lot, but there's not much else for us unless we're pivoting out of green or black. To that effect, though, I think I am fine taking the Squire and having that be a backdoor out into a different color, because this is very good. Yeah. Here's another Squire. But not very good. Probably just want the Curious Pair over the Squire here. I don't know. I had to update CBL. Maybe it's new today. Who knows? Forever Young, pretty good pickup here, but so Flutterfox also. Appetite, I'm not going to prioritize. I'd rather take Forever Young or Flutterfox. Forever Young is not bad. Are you kidding? Fenor, we have a very strong disagreement on this card then. I thought this was one of the linchpin black cards of the format. This is the, and now of course we're not facing we're not going to be facing Mill. I'll grant you that. One of the reasons that this was really nice to have in your back pocket is that it would save you against Mill, which we know is pretty dead in this format. But Flutterfox could be arguable for sure. I'm going to take the Flutterfox because I want to understand what's open. And if we ended up white-green, that would be fine. Here's where I can take an Appetite, although note that Errant was the only red card in the pack. Red still might end up being open in this draft. We can take Insatiable here. If we do end up green-black, Insatiable gets better in the food deck for sure. Blood Haze to hedge to that possibility that red was just not in the packs and it might be open in upcoming, but we can take another Appetite and just kind of move in on the aggro. I mean, you get enough food and then these Appetites as +5/+5, they do become game enders. I'll take another one, but don't love exactly where we're at here. I guess we could make some gingerbread food if we end up heavy green, but I'm putting them in the board right now, along with this Roving Keep. Acclaimed Contender is the rare. If you control another knight, look for more knights. We're not knighty enough for that to consider it. I'd rather just take the Adversary since we seem to be locking into green. Sometimes you get this down for 2 mana and it's crazy, and when you don't, it's fine at 4. Torbran, if you did find your mono red lane, is crazy. But we're not really there. I like another Adversary here. Lock into green and see where we're going. Epic Downfall says where we're going is green, black food. Okay. Bog Naughty. Probably worth it here given the food theme we have going on, but I love this Paladin as well. I'm going to take the Bog Naughty, though, on the strength of the interactions. Yeah, Bog Naughty is effectively a Golgari card, right? Wildwood Tracker, probably our pick here. We got some humans that make it less than amazing. But we'll pick up some other non-humans. And we are trying to be aggressive with these appetites. Paladin would be another option, but I like the tracker here. Trackers work with other trackers, so they get better in multiples that way. We're best of one. You can make an argument for Tall as a Beanstalk out of the board in certain cases, but I don't like it main, so we're not going to bother with that. We can take Hengewalker, but, you know, if you do the thing, congrats, you have a 3/3 for 3. It's very medium. We'll take a Paladin. But now with little else, we'll take a Walker. But check out the red. So the red is here, like Rimrock still being here, right? I don't think the bots have changed. I think the pack 1 packs didn't have a lot of red in it. Or perhaps some absurdly good red uncommons and rares got bots to our right into red. So we'll take Hengewalker here, but not love it. It's too late to be getting into the red deck or anything. So we're never playing this, though. Maybe I should have taken a red card just because, like, we're just not playing that. I mean, you play this if you need curve fillers in your mono deck, not as a 3-drop in your balanced 2-color deck. A lot of food produced here, and we are kind of a food deck, but I still don't like this card. I don't think it does enough, and the thing it does do is too fragile. I would rather have another skewer or just start filling out our 2s with playable creatures, as unexciting as this Squire is. So I'm going to do that over second equip because I want to make sure we have a density of creatures in this deck. Carver is nice too, but Tempting Witch is doing the food thing, so let's take that. Memory Theft, playable Squire for the, again, making sure we have our 2s. Shriek, never going to see play, but is Vault Progress. Marleaf Rider is a nice pickup here. I'm glad to see that. It is not a human, so it works with trackers, and it works with the food plan as well. All these Squires are showing exactly how good a Squire is, which is not very. Stonecoil Serpent out of the rare slot. Very nice to see. Look at this Beanstalk Giant and adversary number 3, though. There's some medium removal in Scaldron. Swordmaster would probably see play in our deck, but we're going to happily snap up the Stonecoil as the best card here. Hey, look at us getting rewarded for being in this pair. We'll take that. Might even wheel, but you can't trust the bots. We're going to take it. Try to wheel the Reaper, perhaps. Here's a Paladin we can grab. Spore Cap is whatever. Just take some card draw, huh? Maybe we don't get the food token, but card draw seems good here over Dummy or Spider. Another rider, we also have Swordmaster. How many knights do we have inherently in here? We got only 4 knights, bunch of humans. I think just rider number 2 over Swordmaster for our food-heavy deck. And then I like another Carver for interaction. Another rider. I don't know how many is too many, but I like them all better than these squires that we can now safely cut. And there's another tracker that does more of what we're looking for out of our early game. Return to Nature. Was that main deckable in this format? I remember it being medium when we tried it last time. I don't think you'll love it, especially if you're trying to be aggressive. We'll take a Swordmaster and probably not even play it. But maybe. I'll leave it in the main for now. Another gingerbread cabin. Another square. Yeah, dummy we can consider. Another dummy to consider. And a drawbridge to not consider. 20 on the grind. Even on my side account, we're hitting gem grind here. I guess that happens with like questing beasts. Or actually, I guess we didn't have 4 of these. We'd have gotten 40 for that. So some rare we picked up. We had multiples. What must it have been? I don't even know. It must have been Stonecoil Serpent, actually. Yeah. So 4 or 5 cuts, depending. I guess we could go 16 here, given the smoother. So I'm going to show you this, take a quick bio, and see what you think we should cut when I get back. Start discussing cuts, and I'll be back shortly. All right. Let's see what I think before I even check chat. 22 creatures, so we're looking to trim our least important creatures for sure. I think we want to keep basically all of our spells. So, worst creatures. Jousting dummy are knights, which we had some, maybe some, we probably want... I think I want the trackers. Smitten Swordmaster is what likes knights. So maybe cut the broom. Although it's sacrifice another permanent. I think we want the broom because it does start to go off with food. So we're going to keep the broom. Maybe this paladin can go. I don't see this paladin as being super important. And maybe the Swordmaster even is less important. But it is just 2/1 lifelink, which is fine. I think we cut the paladin for sure. Yeah, Curious Pair, maybe, but it does make food. But yeah, I like just getting rid of the knight components. I mean, I think this all makes sense to me. And then we can cut... Or maybe even go... Yeah, I guess we want equal black. We haven't... well, we need green. Maybe 9/7 is where we want to be on mana. Really, you want to cut trackers? I kind of like the double tracker. I'm going to leave the trackers. I'm going to go with this. We're going to call this... let's see. We're not seeing red. I'm not cutting any tricks, Hodge. We have, I mean, our count is 18/6. Like, I just want whatever interaction we can get. I mean, we do have Garvers, so that's true. Broom is at its best in decks with a lot of food because it gives you something to create copies. So given our food, yes, we're gonna do that. And let's make a food joke. Hungry. Hungry like the wolf. Do we have any wolves? No, we've got fox. Whatever. Let's call that a name so we can get going. Not going to play this out, but we'll play a couple of games here for sure. All right, we can keep this. Serpent on 1. No Serpent on 1. We'll do Rider into Witch into Beast into Serpent. Wow. Okay. Hit with a Spectre's Shriek in Quick Draft, best of 1. All right, they 2-for-1 themselves to get rid of a card we haven't even spent mana on yet, so could be worse. Don't do this, folks. This is not main deckable. They got a decent card out of it, but you really don't want to do this unless you know your opponent is playing black, and even then, it's questionable. Yeah, great point from Mike. One of the things that's nice about the broom in a deck like this is that if we sack food to a rider, for example, that qualifies for broom. You know, you don't have to spend the 2 mana to even crack the food before it's okay. That's interesting that I mean, this has flash, so maybe Oppo is just not as experienced. It seems like they're playing some cards I don't think you should be playing in best of one, and they're not using the cards they do have to their optimal effect. I can relate. I've been there. But we're going to go ahead and... I wish the tracker's a little bit late. That would have been nice if it had shown up early. We're going to just send in the rider if they want to trade. That's fine. It doesn't have like first strike or anything. I should be reading too. It's not possible that they can stop adding cards, D. That, I mean, listen to yourself. What like... It's Magic the Gathering Arena, except we're not adding new content to it. You in? No, nobody's gonna be in for that. We'll see what we want to do next turn. Oh yeah, we'll absolutely trade off the Tempting Witch. We don't need the Witch to go to the face here. If it wants to be a trade for a Paragon that leaves food behind, I'm in. I think they're probably not attacking, though. But they didn't seem interested in trading for the rider, so maybe they are. I don't know. But Oppo has made strange enough plays that I'm not putting a lot of stock into what they're choosing to do right now in terms of, you know, it feels sus. Tough to get this card working. We'll see if Oppo can manage it. Suspect. Suspicious. I have never even watched a game of Among Us, much less played, and yet I still know that. Well, I think we make Ayara block, huh? So the way this works, target creature blocks if able, and they're tapped out. So we kind of got to do that. And given that, we can send the Witch as well, because if they want to trade for the Paragon, that's fine. And we're going to drop something that can block the Paragon. I think we go Serpent here. Just a 4/4 Serpent seems better than Tracker, leave up a bunch of mana. If we wait, we get a 5/5 next turn along with our tracker. Technically, that puts more attacking power and toughness on board, but not as quickly. I'm going to go over the 4 mana Serpent. Don't fear the Reaper. Got the rest of our hand, but we are underway with attacks still, so that's good. Yeah, good thing we didn't hold Serpent, huh? Looks like Oppo's mono black. Reaper is a couple lands away from seeing play. Oppo playing all sorts of cards I don't respect, but still getting stuff done. I don't like this one either. But I mean, they're mono black, which increases the quality of this a bit. But still, it's a lot of mana to pay. Curious Pair can give us some food to throw, but now we're on Send Serpent and Serpent alone, unfortunately. But they don't have good blocks, so either they're trading off Ayara again or taking a big smack, and then we can do this and this. Rider's interesting. It gives us another forced block. We're now at a spot where if they double block, we trade off. Well, let's see. They have to. Yeah, double block is fine. No matter what, we get Ayara or 2 cards if they double block, or if they do any blocking of the Serpent. So I think I like that. Then we drop Rider and see what our overall situation looks like the turn after. If they come up with land, they get to drop a Reaper. Kind of hoping... I'm not sure what I want for that. I don't know if I want them to have this or not. But we may be in a spot where we're forced to find a way with Tempting Witch and food to get there. But I'm going to start with a Serpent attack. We'll still take whatever blocks they want to offer with this. Yeah, we can Rider and force Ayara to block, but it's not a good one, right? It just gets Ayara out of the way. So if we want to force Ayara to eat our Rider, we can do that. No blocks is pretty good, though, in that with the Rider and... Well, we'll see what we draw and what they draw. It's going to be interesting here. Despite not liking a lot of what Oppo has done, there's no denying that what is coming together here is pretty powerful. This Reaper, total 3 for 1, right? Got 2 cards out of our hand and is now a 4/5. No, I did read the card this time. Check it out. Rob has earned himself the no reading meme.
Oh no, please! I can't read your crazy moon language!
Yes, we can kind of, although Ayara does do some draining such that this life total could keep going up. And now we don't have any attacks, so we're going to sit back. You want to hold land so that the Reaper can't fly? I kind of want to encourage attacks from the Reaper anyway. Is that what you're thinking, Mike? Yeah, so, well, why do you care then? Why are we holding this for? What have we got in my deck? What is Mike thinking? Yeah, I guess I can at least hold 1. It doesn't matter. If we draw a land next turn, we can play the 1. If we draw a spell, we can play it and cast the spell. We do have the fruit thing, though. That's the reason to do it. Well, I feel like if they send Reaper, we're actually happy. You can have Maraleaf force the Ayara block, and then everything else has decent attacks. I guess the Curious Pair is marginal, but... Well, they should have taken something from our graveyard, right? Oh, no, that didn't do that. I got to read this one now. Oh, yeah, sure. All these 3-mana discard spells have these extra clauses on them now. There we go. What can we get back? Another rider? Oh no, Rob's earned himself a timeout. Oh. See how that works, Rob? You act like the rules are the same for me and for you. Yeah, let's get. Should we just get the order out, or should we get something back? If we go altering fate, we get a creature back, but we do not get the order out this turn. Oh yeah, that's interesting. I like that. Let's send in the serpent, and then we get it back, and we can make it bigger. Haj just says just play the creature and get there. Maybe that's the case. Like, just flying in should be good enough. Interesting. I don't know. Well, I'm not trying to be fancy. I am just trying to make sure we win the game. The best chance to win the game. But yeah, let's make him have it. No, I'm kind of with Haj here. This is a 2-turn clock after this. Attack next turn to 5, attack next turn to 3, kill them. So let's put it on them to win from here. They know this is in hand anyway. I'm going to drop that. Also, let's see. If any of my mods want to untime out Rob, he can come back. I was just being silly. But I don't have time to figure it out right now. Plan A. Order, throw food. But black creature entering the battlefield pauses it for a turn at least. Reaper not going to do it. I mean, it does buy him a turn, but is not enough to make me scared. They bought a turn, but not a win. We maybe even could win through if we can find one attack that gets through here. We can get 1 damage in through this defense, but I don't think we can. Oh, if they do that, maybe we can. Yeah, I think now we just win-ish, right? We chuck food, send all. I mean, they just gave it to us. We went 4-3, disappointing 4-3. Felt it was a little better than that, but ran into some flood and some oppos doing good stuff. All right, insatiable appetite to make it extra, but we just attack all and should win without the appetite. None of this has lifelink. I'm just going to send in. Yes, you can activate Ayara. Not sure what that does for you, but you can do that. Well, also, to be fair, we would have won on time just appetiting the order, so we drew cards too. But yes, Oppo helped us out, for sure. All right, I'm going to give you one more game off of this deck, and then I got to take off, okay, gang? No black yet, but we got Tracker into Rider into, even if we had to, Stone Coil on 3, so I like keeping this. Hopefully we'll find a Swamp by 3 and play the Hunter. Oppo on a mulligan. The old 0 mana Stone Coil option. Let's see what happens on the scry. 2 to the top. All right, well, Tracker number 2, still not as good as the Rider. We'll just do that. Still ideal draw is a Swamp for the Hunter. 2-drop green creature would be a nice alternative to in terms of Tracker 2-drop. That we can't do anything with. Let's start with a swing away with what we've got, see if they want to make a trade, and then drop the other Tracker or the Stone Coil. Well, it starts with an attack either way. Let's send in, make offers. And really, Stone Coil is a 3/3 is only slightly bigger here than a Tracker at a 2/2. So, oh, we didn't need Tracker to buff Tracker. They just looked to make sure you have a non-human, and we did. Hodge likes Serpent for 3. Feels underwhelming, but might be correct. Mike says Tracker holds Serpent, so I gave it recursion. Yeah, but Hodge, this basically keeps almost the same amount of pressure. I mean, if they come up with a 2/3 to defend with, then the Stone Coil Serpent was clearly better. But I'm gonna, yeah, you'd go Tracker Hunter next turn if we draw a Swamp. But I'm gonna, if we draw a Forest, I'll be happy to have done this. So I'm gonna go with this line. Hodge has been taking the line of hyper aggro. Of course, I call the 2/3 as the problem play, and that's what they come up with. But we found the Forest, which was the play that makes this feel a little better, because at least we get to drop a Stone Coil on 4. That's a lot of hindsight, though, to say haha. I mean, I acknowledged it as a possibility, but I liked the line. There we go. Now we have a nice attack anyway. I guess if they go if they double block, if they block each of the trackers, then we lose a tracker. Maybe we just send one tracker. Yeah, we could just sell the situation and yeah, that's less sus, but this is more damage. Do you think they'll even double block? I guess they might. Yeah, I'm going to send in one tracker. That was my thought. Because I don't want to send 2 trackers because it gives them a nice clean block each of the trackers and then we're not happy. But I'm happy with this. Okay, they saw it coming, but we still get a 2 for 2 with the Carver after the fact. Let's take out Paladin. You don't want to do it if you don't have to, I don't think. Two carefully isolated blue manas, but then they're doing 4 anyway. I wonder why they manually tapped. Maybe so, Fenor. They seemed eager to block. It's true. Very similar, resulting a 3-1 versus a 3-2. We have no food yet. We're just going to spend all our mana here on the 3-2. If they're going to spend 4 mana to pump the Gargoyle next turn, we're thrilled about that. Wow, someone actually doing the Secret Keeper thing. I can't even believe there were Secret Keepers for them to draft with the way the bots draft these Keepers. What'd they get? One of our swamps? No. My goodness, deck. You know I'm 9-7, but I am not 15-1. Well, not much to do, but play a Rider and look for some longer game effects here. Savvy Hunter does have the sequencing where you can send in Rider and Hunter with no food available. It makes food, sack the food to the Rider before blockers, so you can pull that off. Yeah, Oppo's deck is a pile I don't want to lose to, but we're not really finding the cards we need to punish Oppo's pile, so that's the way it goes sometimes too. Well, thing is we need to make a meme for a color screw or something, but we're certainly not mana screwed. We just are seeing an unlikely side of our mana. I'm going to just hold the forest now. It's not doing that much to play it. So artifacts they can cast later. Enchanted Carriage is strong. Jousting Dummy, Golden Egg, and Witching Well. So they got some tools. Well, we've got at least the ability to cast the Hunter now. Draw another one, we can cast the Bognaughty, and maybe we just ignore what's going on down here and get in through the air. I don't see anything they can get back here that really solves the air problem if we can get the Bognaughty going. Well, we can force it, but then they can tap it in response. So we can't really get Emery, and we didn't have food there to make to get it now. Well, at that point, if we hopefully if we can get food eventually through the attack of the hunter and Bognati away the Emery and take back over the air. Just gonna play my stuff. Try to find a line down the road here. I'm gonna play this too. Now we have a, I guess, even if we draw our foreboding fruit, we're not like casting Bognati next turn, but continues to be nothing to do but look for a second swamp. I mean, 9/7 feels correct, although we do have the double black and Bognati that's punishing us now for only 7 sources of swamp, 7 sources of black. Yeah, the Carver would be okay, but it would be blocked by the carriage, right? Although like nothing else, so that's fair. No, we didn't cut that. That's a great card. Yes, although they could basically recur this every turn and keep it at bay that way. Really need black to get in the air here. Sure. Thanks, deck. Feels good. Oh, magic. So 7 of our 9 forests already with us. And looking grim now. Do not respect what Oppo is doing with their deck, but it is beating the crap out of us now, so there's that. Emery just being a value engine is pretty darn good when you can get it going. Oppo could be using Emery on the egg and just drawing extra cards, which is appealing to me, but I also see what they're doing. I mean, we can't really block the carriage, so why not keep sending it in? And we could chump it, but we don't want to trade for it. Yeah, I'm not salty or anything. Things are working out for Oppo better than they should, because things are working out for us worse than they should, frankly. Should meaning just statistically, not life owes me, you know what I mean? Yeah, the Emery is the thing they're doing that I do respect quite a bit. Emery looping is quite excellent if you can get it going. But there's some the stuff surrounding the Emery is not impressing me with the roving keeps and the Lochthwain gargoyles. It seems like they're playing artifacts to play into this, but I don't know. At some point, the artifacts aren't good enough even with Emery. Yeah, I do like Monitor at best with stuff like this. Although Monitor as a 4 toughness, 1 power, 2 drop kind of plays just for itself. This can actually do some defensive work that matters. And it has fun little combos, as Mike pointed out, with like Emery. I'm kind of in waiting to die mode now. I don't even know if getting Bognati online saves us in time. Scavengers bouncing something. Let's see what they do. Hey, Mobius and friends. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. I'm not much long for this stream either, but we're going to send you along. Let's see who. Somebody redeemed that. Hold on. Let me see. It was. Oh, yeah, Jamie. Tron is going to send us to Jamie Topples in a little bit. So get ready for that. We're trying a couple of games from a Eldraine quick draft and getting the crap beat out of us by Emery and the lack of a swamp. Second swamp, this game would be a lot different, but we did not find one. And now we're in a tough spot. I think I go ahead and chump here. That's too much damage, but I don't even know how we win if we stack our deck at this point. I guess I get a chump with a Curious Pair as well. This might be a better attacker if we do find a way to attack, but the ground is not going to be the thing here. I really don't see how we win this game. I don't think we have the tools in the deck to get there. She's a woman, D, and I don't like your attitude. Fix it. All right, well, we found our Bognaughty. Again, I think it's too late. So classic. All right, yay, we found our swamp, but we're gonna now lose. Mainly, I mean, even if we chump a bunch on the ground to stop the big stuff they've got, we don't have time to win in the air. So this is basically done, barring massive mistakes from Oppo in terms of how aggressive they get. Can't believe I'm losing to a blue deck in Quick Draft, mainly. The bots are so tuned to take blue to tap to keep the mill decks down that I never really see blue open in Quick Draft Eldraine. Although these aren't representative of blue being open, really. So all right, Oppo, good work. You did it. Did I cycle? I'm not sure I cycled. Phew! Just in time. Almost completed that. All right. Well, I'm going to say goodbye to YouTube friends. 1-1 start there. Really didn't like that second loss. Felt bad, but that happens. It's magic. Take it on the chin. And try to get the next one. All right, YouTube, that's going to be it for this one. Maybe we'll play it later on in the week, but mainly I just wanted to get a draft and a couple games in of Eldraine bot, throw that up on YouTube and let people see where the bots are at. So thanks for hanging out for that one. We'll catch you the next draft.